50,000 migrants have been dropped into San Diego County just over the last 3 months. The mayor of El Cajon, California, Bill Wells, joins me now. Your Honor, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Are you seeing the same kind of surge that places like Eagle Pass are seeing?
Oh, yeah. You know, in the past 3 months, we've seen 50,000 people dropped off on the streets, people with nowhere to go. And that's increased significantly. In fact, the other day we had 900 dropped off and 800 the day before that. And previously to that, the number that got us to that 50,000 was about 300 a day. So it's exponentially increasing.
Wow. Well, Border Patrol agents, meanwhile, in San Diego, just received their second complaint about the conditions of migrant camps in the area. But how are you supposed to adequately care for all the migrants that continue to flood into there?
You know, there's just no way to do it. What the complaints are about is we have a border fence that ends in a desert area called Tecate and Jacamba. And they've made makeshift refugee camps. But at this time of year, the weather is horrible. It's to sleep outside in that area is very dangerous. And so people are getting sick and people are complaining. And you know, I have compassion for that. I think we should be closing the border. But for God's sakes, if the federal government is going to force all these people into America, there should be some provisions for caring for them and making sure they don't die from exposure.
Yeah, they have all these mandates. They have the responsibility for the border, and then they drop the ball and leave it in the hands of folks like you who are just overwhelmed by it. And I'm just wondering about the fence. The San Diego border fence has a pretty good history, doesn't it, in terms of when you compare it to areas in Texas that don't have a fence?
Yeah, I'm really glad that we were able to get the fence before people decided that it wasn't a good idea anymore. It's really helped significantly, but we're still seeing horrible things coming across the board. I mean, just last week, we had 100 pounds of fentanyl and meth that were snuck in. We had 10 IEDs found at the border. IEDs. And you add that to the fact that there's 180 people that have come through on the terror watch list. You add that to, you know, drugs and IEDs, and this all adds up to a very frightening proposition for the people of San Diego.
And the drugs, I mean, beyond the fact they're being transported through your community, some of them stay there and I'm sure are doing terrible harm to the young folks.
Oh, absolutely. You know, fentanyl death is the #1 cause of death for people between 18 and 45. That's a massive thing. You think back on COVID, where people were saying even one death was enough to lock the country down and make everybody wear masks and take untested vaccines. And now we're looking at the #1 cause of death among young people, and we're saying, yeah, no big deal. What are you going to do?
Mayor,
and I just think that it's horrible.
I just have to ask, in 10 seconds or 15 seconds, what would you tell the president?
That first off, we got to close the border, and you've got to take care of the people that are here, and we've got to have some way to know who's coming in. There's got to be some kind of vetting process. This thing is completely out of control, and the people don't like it.
Yeah. Mayor Bill Wells, we wish you the best, Mayor. We know your situation is shared by a lot of people on the border. Thank you for being here.